Every year, we lose more than 1 million kids who drop out of high school to at best an uncertain future and large cost to our communities and themselves. It doesn't have to be this way. Students don't wake up one morning and decide to drop out of school. They don't even wake up 1 year. It's a long process of disengagement that begins in the 9th grade for some, but for many as early as 6th grade in the middle schools. Instead of big anonymous schools where students fall through the cracks and there's hundreds of kids that need extra support and don't get it, Diplomas now organize schools into small learning communities and teacher teams. So an established group of adults can meet weekly with kids they know well and then can pool their resources and understandings to create a unified structures, interventions, and supports to keep all the kids on their team on track. Imagine a team of teachers who share a common set of kids getting together weekly with data and supported by a whole set of other adults. A talent development Johns Hopkins facilitator, city or core members and a program manager, a communities and schools site coordinator, and other student support personnel getting together, looking at the data, sharing their knowledge about the kids, coming up with a plan, having someone champion the plan, and then monitoring it. Is it working? Is it not? And if it's not, changing the plan until something does.
Okay, these are the students that we are discussing today. We have Stephen, Matt, Natalie, Charlie, Ashley, and Anthony.
In today's busy world, it's practically unheard of, and especially in a high-need schools, for a dozen adults to be able to sit together and talk about students they know, and to be able to pool their insights, because each knows a different piece of the student's story.
We are going to move to another student, Natalie.
She has a very severe problem with her father. He is no longer allowed to be in contact with the child.
Okay. Was she ever connected to a counselor? Does she have someone?
I don't know if she was connected.
She was connected.
I do know. I was the one who brought her to her counselor in the beginning of the year, and at that point she was not open to the counselor.
Okay.
She came right back to me.
Okay.
There are times where if something at home or if something outside of school is bothering her, she can have a tendency to just shut down and just all I hear a lot is I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, and then we go outside and talk about what's happening, you know, and then she could be in a position to continue her work.
Our teachers benefit by being able to meet together as teams and getting to know their students in a deeper way through the use of data around attendance, behavior, and course grades. And those three things allow them to be able to better plan for their students and be able to meet their needs so they're more successful in the classroom.
One of the things that I started doing with her in terms of intervention is letting her work with another student, and that started generating work.
And that's been successful?
Absolutely.
You know, that's an intervention we can do easy in the class.
The students are better known by our staff, and that really helps them be more successful in school. In the past, students could get lost in the shuffle, but now through the use of EWI, they are now known, and our teachers have become kid watchers, so they're better able to really focus in on the needs.
One thing that sets Diplomas now apart is that we create a system of layers of support for students. And we do this to make sure that we have the ability to reach students that need a little help, students that need some help, and those students that need a lot of help.
I'm really struggling with Matt a lot. In the beginning of the year, he voiced a couple of things, which is losing his father, which was like a big emotional thing for him that he was dealing with.
The minute a student loses a family member, that already puts them at risk.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to put that out there.
I had a really good relationship with Matt in the beginning of the year. It was really strong. I could always get him back on task. If he needed to talk, he would reach out to me. But since he has been associating with Robert, that sort of changed.
So can we decide as a group on an intervention? Do you like the idea of meeting with him as a group of teachers? Do you want to include a family member, a brother, I guess?
I think that for him specifically, I think that would go really well rather than having the other student in the intervention. I think if we could bring his brother in with the teachers and a unified front of everybody is, you know, acknowledging this behavior.
Kids come to school with many complex challenges, and many of these students come to our highest needs schools. Teachers alone can't meet this challenge. It's too many kids and too many complex needs. It leaves them overwhelmed and frustrated. That's where EWI meetings and Diplomas Now comes in. It provides the structures, the supports, and the tools to make this a manageable and solvable problem. And that fosters a can-do spirit, which says we can take kids that are behind, we can marshal our resources, we can create teams of caring adults who can problem solve and together find ways to make sure that all students stay on track. That's what works.